Hello everybody and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, and as usual I'll start with a couple of announcements. First of all, April Madness is still going on, and we've added something to April Madness, which is that you can get 90 days of service with our interactive voicemail system for free, which means that you can talk back and forth with me and other Wellness Forum members and staff and that sort of thing, be connected to a whole community of Wellness Forum people all over the world by voice. And you get broadcasts every day about health and food and all kinds of things. So you should try it. It's free. What could you lose from trying something for free, right? So if you're interested in that, let us know. Second thing is the Diet and Lifestyle Intervention course starts in June. This is with the celebrity lineup of instructors, Dr. McDougall, Dr. Barnard, Dr. Goldhammer, Dr. Ralph Moss. Remember, it's not just about diet. It deals with vaccinations and musculoskeletal issues and mental health and all kinds of other things related to practice. We only do this once a year. This is your chance to get 39 continuing medical education credits, also nursing CEs, dietitian CEs. You can learn, you can get continuing education, and learn from the best in the business. And we will give you a $1,400 voucher toward other Wellness Forum programs. And then 3 classes start this week at the Institute: Women's Health, Business Training, and Dietary Supplements. So we'll be offering some other programs in the summertime, by the way, besides the Diet and Lifestyle course, but these 3 start right now, the tail end of winter semester. All right, so the topic today, according to a New York Times blog posted several days ago, Kraft Foods Group had just scored a major coup. Now, notice I'm using the past tense. You'll understand why here in a second. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which we'll refer to as the A&D, had agreed to the equivalent of a seal of approval for Kraft singles. Kraft would be able to place the Academy's logo for their Kids Eat Right campaign on both the regular and 2% milk versions of the product. Now, Kraft and the A&D had made some big plans. This was just going to be the beginning of what would develop into a 3-year relationship, according to Carrie Ryan, the Director of Nutrition Science and Regulatory Affairs for Kraft. The collaboration was, they said, formed to help address the fact that according to Kraft, 80% of girls and 70% of boys between the ages of 4 and 18 don't consume enough calcium, and the company claims that half of all children do not consume enough vitamin D. The A&D and Kraft plan to provide education and build awareness of children's health issues in order to help resolve them. Now, this is a cozy little relationship. In addition to working for Kraft, Ms. Ryan is a dietitian and a member of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Now, this is my commentary. The level of ignorance associated with this whole thing and the premise upon which it's formed just boggles the mind. Apparently, nobody has informed Ms. Ryan or other members of the A&D that vitamin D is not to be consumed. It's a hormone. The body produces it in response to sunlight. Kids should go outside, be exposed to the sun. They will produce vitamin D. You don't take it orally from food. That's why it isn't in food. We weren't designed to eat it. The A&D was also apparently not bothered by the fact that its logo would be appearing on a product that cannot be called cheese. In 2003, the FDA ordered Kraft to change its labels on both its Singles and Velveeta products, since the products contained ingredients in addition to milk and dairy products. They can no longer be labeled as pasteurized processed cheese food. Instead, they're now called pasteurized prepared cheese products. The A&D claimed that this was not an endorsement, but that the group just wanted to lend its name to the product in order to bring more awareness to its Kids Eat Right campaign. Mary Beth Whalen, the Academy's executive director, said in an email statement, quote, "It also serves to drive broader visibility to kidseatright.org, a trusted educational resource for consumers." Now, I think this claim is a little bit disingenuous, since Kraft has given the A&D a financial contribution in exchange for this, the size of which has not yet been disclosed, and promoting processed products that even the toothless FDA has ordered to not be labeled as food is not consistent with being a trusted educational resource for consumers. Well, not everybody was as enthusiastic about this arrangement as Kraft and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. The A&D has been criticized for many years for its close relationships with industry. A long list of food manufacturers and agricultural groups consistently make donations to the A&D. Many pay even more for opportunities to attend and have big booths at their national conferences and to deliver presentations to dietitians about their products under the guise of continuing education. Even its own members are speaking out. Andy Bellotti is a founder of the Dietitians for Public Integrity, a group of dietitians that is openly expressing its dissatisfaction with A&D policies. Well, the backlash over the Kraft partnership was so much that the A&D finally backed out. And this was the statement, quote, "Although we stand by our decision to work together to shine a light on this issue and not to serve as a product endorsement, we believe misperceptions are overshadowing the campaign," a spokesperson for Kraft said Tuesday in a statement. As such, both organizations have agreed it's best not to proceed as originally planned. Now, it's astounding to me that the A&D actually didn't think there's anything wrong with this. The group's public statements have made it quite clear that the reason for backing out was backlash from its own members and the public, not because they think that there's any problem with this. This group just seems to be permanently ethically impaired, and this partnership is just the latest in a whole long list of similar things that they've done. Well, while acting in this manner, and this is what just makes me furious, the A&D continues to insist that its members are the only professionals qualified to advise people about nutrition. The group is still promoting legislation in many states that would give dietitians a complete monopoly over the practice of nutrition. Now, the good news is that opposition to these laws is very robust these days, both by non-dietitians who don't want to lose their rights to practice, and even members of the public who are becoming more aware of the types of things I've been talking to you about here and want to preserve their right to consult with nutritionists that are trained in alternative ways, or at least to choose the providers that they want to hire. As a result, there have been some recent successes on the legislative front that I'll mention to you. The Dietetics licensure law was repealed in Michigan last fall. In other words, they got their licensure law passed, and then it was revoked. First time that's ever been done. And the Dietetics Board in North Carolina recently entered into an agreement to stop harassing non-dietitians in order to avoid going to trial over the issue. And that was a smart move, by the way, because the court system has recently been a little unfriendly to licensure boards. Looks like the courts are starting to see through their, under the guise of public protection, their desire for monopoly status. So, for example, in a recent case, the Supreme Court ruled against dental boards that were trying to claim that dentists were the only people who should sell tooth whitening products. Now, that is patently ridiculous when you think about the fact that you can go buy these things at Walmart 24 hours a day, all right? So the American Medical Association had backed the dentist's claim on this issue. They have a horse in the race because they are all interested in licensure boards and their monopoly. Many states are now licensing nurse practitioners and physician assistants as primary providers, and that cuts into their monopoly. So they had a vested interest in the outcome, and they lost big time. Well, here's back to the dietetics issue. Missouri, New Mexico, New Jersey, and New York currently have bills pending that would grant dietitians monopoly status. Now, if you live in these states, contact your elected representatives and tell them that you know that you're opposed to these bills. Lots of opposition has killed them in states. I've worked on these issues for years. So public outcry, best thing to do. Shining a light on the situation and showing it for what it is. This is just all turf and title protection. All right, that's all for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think should watch it. I'm going to insert one more comment. My problem is not with dietitians. I want to make this really clear. It's not with dietitians. We employ them here. My problem is with this group and the insistence that dietitians should control the practice of nutrition. Just to be clear. I'm always clarifying because I know some of the things I say make people angry. All right, now that's all for today. Pass it on. I'll be back to you on Thursday with more news.